Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/spookshow. Then go over to morbidlybeautiful.com as we are now part of the Morbidly Beautiful Podcasting Network.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Roll two! Roll two! Yo, two!
Everybody here dies by dawn. Dead by dawn!
Welcome to the Spookshow. Hello, welcome to the latest All-American Spookshow podcast. I'm Josh, and I'm joined here with Donnie.
Yo.
And the Professor Smoke.
What's up?
And Tiana couldn't make it this week, and Will rarely does anymore. But this week we're taking, we don't always do these Spookshow spotlights. Usually this is sometimes it kind of becomes the wild card spot, so to speak. It becomes what it needs to become when we need it to, But we swung back around in the rotation to Spookshow Spotlight, and the whole premise of this series is we usually just, shine the light, so to speak, on a particular topic or a person, say like an actor, director, something, along those lines. We've done a good handful of them over the years, but we haven't done one in a minute, so we swung back around, and today we're going to be talking about killer clowns and coulrophobia. Now, Donnie, do you know what coulrophobia is?
I'm going to guess the fear of clowns.
Yes, it's the irrational, or maybe in some people's minds, rational.
Yeah, rational.
Fear of clowns. I guess in particular, any clowns really, but in particular, what we're talking about is evil clowns, creepy clowns, killer clowns, whatever, right? And maybe I think we're not taking like a deep dive into the psychology of coulrophobia or anything like that, but we could touch on that a little bit. So, like, Donnie, what's your feelings on clowns? Like, you get creeped out? Do you enjoy them? I mean, are you indifferent? What do you?
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent. I don't really. I remember being kind of creeped out as a kid with the Poltergeist, little clown and Poltergeist.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't care.
Smoke, what about you? About the same, or about to shit your pants over clowns? Or?
Not, I never really. Some people I guess have that. What's the term for it? What's the pronunciation for the fear of clowns?
Coulrophobia.
Coulrophobia. I guess some people have it bad enough where any clown, right, scares them. Yeah. Just your normal circus clown, I guess, right? But no, I never had it for like what Donnie was mentioning as a kid. That clown from. I don't think you even have to have that phobia for the clown in Poltergeist to be creepy or to scare you.
That creepy clown doll.
The way they set up that whole scene, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in general, no, not so much outside of that, because back when we were in the earlier 80s, there wasn't a whole lot of that scary clown stuff until, like, you had those random bits like in Poltergeist, but not until Killer Clowns from Outer Space and that type of thing, I guess, came along. So where you had, now it's like everywhere, right? You can't go to a convention or a haunt or any kind of thing like that without there being, evil clowns of some kind. So.
Yeah.
But no, in general, no, just as a kid, those little, random bits like the Poltergeist scene.
Yeah, I mean, they've never really scared me like that, but to that, I could see where maybe, they could freak you out, like if, because I think the whole thing is like, it's the fear of the unknown, right? Like it's someone, I mean, you're pretty generally, aware that it's a human being, right? Obviously, but like, I guess it's just the fact that they're not wearing their real face, so to speak. Like it could be anybody under there, and it just, so you could see where it might freak a certain people out, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just the look of the clowns with the red nose, the generic look, usually what, like red or some kind of funky colored neon hair, red nose, the big red lips, so it's not like a big stretch to like take that from something that is completely innocent to all of a sudden creepy as hell. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take a big leap either.
No.
Which is, by and large, what horror movies have done over the last, say, 40 years or so, give or take, right? That's what they've done. They've taken this thing that's, a fairly innocuous fear, probably a fear not a lot of people have, and they've turned it into something that is almost like a legitimate fear now for a lot of people, Yeah,
but like kind of going back, I mean, yeah, fear of clowns, like how did that start? Like, let's say this. What was the first, no, I don't know, so I'm asking. Like, what was the first, I guess, cinematic depiction of a evil clown or
Now, I'm not sure
Yeah.
about the first, but I know from a couple articles that I read, one of the first things that really made it kind of popular for clowns to be creepy was John Wayne Gacy
Hmm.
and his Pogo the Clown.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it Pogo the Clown, right? That I think that's
Yes.
where it probably to those that are already inclined to be creeped out by it, they were already creeped out, right? But for everyone else, like now it's almost like Jaws, right? Like now it gave you a reason to fear clowns. So I think it became a thing, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, his pogo thing was like his job, right? One of his jobs, side jobs for kids. So
Yeah,
it wasn't even like that he was doing the serial killing thing as Pogo the Clown, but because it was John Wayne Gacy, now that's attached to it. So anytime you see that picture of him in the clown makeup, it's like instantly, whether you have a fear of, I can never remember the word, coulrophobia or whatever it is.
yeah.
Whether you would have that or not, you see that image of him as Pogo, and you're instantly creeped out because of what he did outside of that. Even.
And then there was the I think it was 2016. There was like the worldwide clown scare where it became like a viral phenomenon. And then there were people claiming that they were seeing, I guess people.
Yeah, in the woods.
Yeah, like in the woods or like just dressed up as a clown on the side of the road and shit and just scaring the fuck out of people. I guess was the general. And my guess is that must have had something to do with around that time, give or take, was when that new It movie came out, right? The first one, give or take.
Yeah, it's a good way to get shot.
Yeah. But it's not. That's what I mean. Like it's in a lot of ways, it's not even like somebody dressed like a vampire clown or something like that. It's just a regular fucking clown, and then you want to get knocked the fuck out. Like it's weird. It's like they're not doing anything, but just
That's definitely the other thing is feel like whether they're evil clowns or not, just a normal clown out in the woods is a lot scarier than a normal clown in the circus, right?
yeah. Well, I mean that whole
Like
2016
woods, that'd be creepy.
that whole 2016 thing though, like essentially led McDonald's to kind of unofficially retire Ronald McDonald, right? Because like if you think about it, over the last 8 years or so, you haven't seen him that much, So like, I think because of that, people were starting to get so freaked out by clowns that McDonald's was like, you know what, maybe we should lay off the clown. So you rarely see him.
And then, what year was it? It was before that, of course. What year was the shooting in the theater because of, the Batman movie?
Yeah,
and the guy
that
dressed up as a Joker somewhat,
Was that the one with Heath Ledger, right? So as Joker, so that was probably,
I don't remember, it was the second one?
2008, 2012, somewhere in that range, right? That was the second one because it was the Dark Knight or Batman Return. I don't fucking know. I'm blanking on all the titles, but it was the Dark Knight. That was the one that you're talking about, yeah. Then a dude came in dressed like, see, Joker is a good example. So maybe Donnie, to answer your question, maybe it goes as far back as the Joker, and maybe in film, maybe it goes as far back as what is it called? Smoke, the Man Who Laughs.
Who Laughs? Because that was the Joker was kind of based on.
Yeah.
God, what's his name from?
Lon Chaney Sr.
No, not that played the Man That Laughs. That was.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'm blanking.
It was the guy that played Caesar or Cesar or whatever in Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, but I can't think of his name right now.
But that one right there, now that one's not directly a clown per se. It looks kind of clownish because he's got that sick smile, right? So like
he's got a permanent grin on his face, and he's not in clown makeup or anything, but if you see it in black and white, you see that image, you can definitely see where they got the inspiration for the Joker from. But he's not trying to be a clown or anything in the Man Who Laughs.
I pulled up a article, just kind of curious about my own question here, but looks like the evil clown archetype basically started with an adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe, and it even goes as far back as 1874.
Wow,
which is bonkers.
Yeah, Once again, though, I don't know if that's so much like them. Maybe in some ways it's purposefully playing off of a real fear. It's a fact that people legitimately have this fear. So maybe going all the way back to that far is where, like, you know what, if there are people that are afraid of these things, let's play off of it, and that maybe it's, and away we go.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, exactly where this kind of thing got started. But I think all of these things or the stew that made it to where it is now. By the way, Smoke, I looked at it. It's Conrad Veidt. That.
Oh, okay, yeah, yep, that's right, Conrad Veidt,
the man who laughed. That goes back to 1928. So we're going back to silent film, at least that far back, right? With this stuff, and obviously even further back.
Now Lon Chaney Sr. did play a clown, and it wasn't a horror movie, but it was He Who Gets Slapped. Slap. When I say slap, it reminds me of our episode of Devil's Reign. But anyways,
yeah, slap.
He gets slapped.
He's like, thou art the one. Slap. Good old Ernie Borgnine. I think the Joker is a big one, though. When you're talking about throughout the last 80 years or so, and even in today, not just from the comics. The comics play a big part, obviously, but in film and TV over the years and everything. And Joker's scary for different level. Yeah, he's a clown, the clown prince of crime and all that, right? He's a clown, but he's not a real clown. He's just wearing clown makeup and he does vile things. And he's scary because he's, what is he like? Basically, well, he's beyond an anarchist. He's like a nihilist, right? Like he's a little bit of everything. Like
yeah. He just wants to watch the world burn, right?
Yeah, essentially. So that's a different kind of messed up. So I think that's a big part of it too. But when you get into film, though, I think maybe these days, right now as we speak in 2024, one of the first ones you'll think of is Art the Clown. And that brings us to why we're even doing this to begin with, because next week we're going to be talking about Terrifier 2 here on the show. So that's the main reason why we even picked the subject to begin with. But I'd say right before Art becomes a thing and becomes as big as he has in the horror world here over the last 4 or 5 years or whatever, it's Pennywise, right? Like Pennywise is probably the one from Stephen King's It, the book, the novel, the massive fucking novel, and the Tim Curry miniseries from, when was that, 1990 or so, Smoke? And then
the miniseries. And what year was the book? I don't know if you have that right in front of you, because I can't recall if it was 80s or late 70s. I think it was early 80s, all right?
I believe that was in the 80s. I'll check. Yeah, it was 1986.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it started with the novel, and then a handful of years later, I think 90, they came out with the Tim Curry miniseries, which I think that aired over 2 or 3 nights. I don't remember. It was either 2 or 3 on ABC.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
but yeah, a few days or so.
Yeah, and then fast forward to the new version of it with Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Where they made It and then It Chapter 2. So that one, that was very well done. I think that was Andy Muschietti was the director of those. There's going to be a continuation, though, just on that. Sometime next year, there's going to be a series called Welcome to Derry. And from what I understand, Bill Skarsgård is reprising the role of Pennywise for that series. So that should be interesting. Something we'll definitely check out here for the show, for sure. But between Pennywise and now Art the Clown, now they've given people fair reason, not just creeped out by someone in grease paint, right? Now you have legit reasons between those two.
It's intermission, it's intermission. It's intermission, it's intermission. Ice cream, candy, lemonade too. And there's a hot dog waiting for you.
The popcorn's popping and it's ready to go. You know all the great food is stealing the show.
Get up out your seat and get yourself a tasty treat down at the snack bar. Snack bar.
Speaking of grease paint, we didn't mention them, but it's kind of falling off now because it's not in the. They're done with the sequels and all that stuff. But House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and what was the third one?
Oh God, Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell.
Three from Hell, yeah.
The so-called Firefly trilogy, and of course you're talking about Captain Spaulding, played by Sid Haig.
Yeah, because that kind of brought him back around again a little bit too, I believe, at that time period when House came out and then Devil's Rejects.
The funny thing is like, to me, I like, yes, he's a crazed killer wearing clown makeup, but I never like quite associated Captain Spaulding like I do Pennywise or Art the Clown or something. Like he's just a sick. Yeah. He's just a sick fuck who just happens to put clown makeup on to me. Like I I don't think he gives a shit. But it does play into things. But
Yeah.
he's not a real clown. Is my point. He's just kind of like the dude that runs the roadside weirdo freak show attraction thing that wears clown makeup. But still, yes, very very popular and one of my favorites. I got to meet Sid Haig. Smoke, I know you did a handful of times, and super nice guy. And unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But that Captain Spaulding character is iconic at this point. One of the better created characters of the last 20, 25 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we owe that to
Thanks
Sid
to
Haig.
of course, Zombie and Sid Haig.
Yeah, I think we mostly owe give the credit to Sid Haig for that. Not that I'm taking away anything for Rob Zombie. I mean, he created it, but Sid Haig makes that right.
Oh, definitely.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You mentioned it briefly, but that was one that that came out in 1988. I want to say I saw that not probably on HBO or something, maybe like a year or two later. So I'm 9 or 10 years old, and man, like I know that movie's silly as shit, but it scared the fuck out of me. When I was 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I always remember that scene where there's like the little clown, because it's been a long time since I've watched that movie, and we need to get to it here on the podcast. But there's that little clown, and like the guy's like one of the street toughs or whatever the hell's like, "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?" And then he winds up and knocks the dude's head off. That one stuck with me. That one's like
I was a little bit older by the time I got to that. But I didn't see it in '88. It's probably '89 or so. But I was, and by that point I was already. It was more funny to me, but I could definitely see how it would be scary to when you're younger.
Yeah, like I said, I'm 9 or 10, and then you start working in your head like, shit, if I go to the circus, now a clown could wrap me up in cotton candy and suck my blood out, with a straw. You could see these things happening.
You talk about killer clowns, sort of like the, things that used to scare the shit out of me when, as a kid. You guys probably laugh. This doesn't really have much to do with clowns, but the Land of Confusion by Genesis, the music video, it's kind of in the same vein as far as but yeah, that scared the shit out of me. Just watching those.
It's got those puppets. Is that the one?
Yeah, those over the top.
Yeah, that was a thing in the 80s though. Like it just goes beyond that. There was a show or something. It was called like DC Follies, where they, it was like a Reagan puppet and other like people, and like it was that same type of puppet. I don't know. It was like a thing briefly in the 80s. It was.
Although that's
weird looking.
I don't know what that's called, but I'm sure there's a phobia, a scientific name for a fear of puppets and dummies and that type of thing.
Jesus.
Puppet.
Honestly, just
puppophobia.
Yeah, that's scary.
Same thing. I mean, that's probably not it, but same thing. Like you could see where that might, just like coulrophobia and clowns and everything, right? Like you could see where if you're going to have an irrational fear of something, like that's pretty fucking creepy. This thing being controlled by strings and.
Yeah, that and honestly, I think it started as kind of also a little weird, I guess, but I think it also kind of started with the Dark Crystal, because the Dark Crystal scared the shit out of me as a kid too.
Which I don't think that was necessarily intended to scare you, right?
No.
It's been a while since I've seen Dark Crystal, but that wasn't a horror, right? There might be some horrific elements to it, but it was more of a fantasy game.
It depends on what you considered scary.
Yeah, and when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that range, like these are the times where like the simplest of things can scare the hell out of you.
Oh yeah, like even now, like they have these shows where this woman's terrified of pickles, or just dumb shit.
Back in the 80s, 90s, Jerry Springer had just about every phobia possible that you could have on his show. People had fear of balloons,
and we just laughed and laughed. Look at this! Look at this dumbass afraid of balloons.
And so what do they do though? They put them on there. It's like, what are you afraid of? Oh, balloons. I'm terrified of balloons. And they come out with the whole thing.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they're like, what are you afraid of? Mayonnaise. And then they'd come out and pour mayonnaise on their head or some shit. What the fuck? We're gonna help you get over this, Dukes.
We're just trying to help you with your phobia. That's all.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you just made it much, much worse, and they went home and hurt themselves because of they didn't get past their fears. You just made it worse. There was one that I saw a handful of years ago. It was a movie called Clown. It came out in 2014. Smoke.
Yeah.
I don't know if either one of you guys have watched that one. That one is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that Eli Roth had something to do. I don't know if he necessarily directed it or if he produced it or what. But
Yeah, I don't remember what the lineage or whatever it was on that. Like as far as who did it, I don't recall that. But like that one was interesting in premise because it was like, dude puts on clown makeup and like this old clown outfit for. Didn't he do it for like his son's birthday party or some shit like that? And then he can't take it off. He can't take the grease paint off. He can't take the nose off, and then he starts turning into some kind of like demon clown, slowly but surely throughout the movie.
Yeah, that was produced by Eli Roth.
There you go.
And
Yeah. It makes sense what you're watching because it's not like from what I recall. It's been a while since I watched it. Probably damn near 8 or 9 years ago when I watched that. But it's not overly gory. Yeah, it's not overly gory, but there's some gory moments in it, so it's pretty good. I would definitely recommend checking that one out.
Yeah, I mean that's one that we should probably get. Did you say you saw that, Donnie, or no?
Donnie did. He did. I think he's looking for a nickel. You drive.
Oh, okay.
No, I can hear the like. I put my laptop on a cooling mat, and I can hear the fans from the cooling mat.
He said it's a clown. Is that one that you saw? Do you remember seeing that one?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I did see it.
Yeah, that one. That is definitely one that we should get to. Like, and when I was looking this stuff up, and I was like, "Oh shit, that is right, that movie." Then I'm like, well, we need to put that on the list for sure. Here's some others that I don't know if you guys have seen that I've seen like the first 2, maybe 3. I think now it's grown into like at least 3, maybe 5 movies. But it's called Hell House LLC. Now it's kind of the found footage kind of gimmick, right? That's essentially what's going on here. But in this haunted house that the movies are about, there are these like clowns. There's these, but they're like mannequin clowns that just kind of sit over in the corner. And then, of course, as found footage movies are, like they look at it, it's sitting here, and then they look away, and then they turn back, and it's sitting over there, or it's moved closer to them, stuff like that. But like these clowns stick out as imagery in that movie. There's some other shit going on in those movies, but the clowns in those movies are super fucking creepy. For like found footage type stuff. So that is definitely one series I would recommend checking out. I think it's on Shudder, if I'm not mistaken. Those things move around. Some other movies that are pulled, most of these, I'd say, well, maybe a couple of them I've seen, but most of these I haven't seen. Just some that have something to do with killer clowns and horror movies, right? We've got The Clown at Midnight from 1996. We've got Drive Through from 2007. That one's in particular of note because there's a clown in it called Horny the Clown. So that sounds like it's right up Smoke's alley. We've got the.
I don't know if I would be chased by. I certainly don't want to be chased by Horny the Clown. But.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't want to be chased by any clown, but especially one called Horny the Clown.
Not horny.
Yeah.
I'll take the killer clowns over there.
We've got The Last Circus from 2010, Stitches from 2012. Ginger Clown from 2013, and that one actually has Tim Curry in it. So he's a clown again in that one, and I'm supposing that was kind of getting towards the end of Tim Curry's run as an actor, right? I guess, but somewhere around there. But and there's some other names in that one too. That was kind of a lot of them. It's like voice work and stuff, but still, like you got a pretty impressive cast for something that probably not a lot of people have seen, right? Circus of the Dead, 2014. And then Rob Zombie again. He had 31 back in 2016. So
I kind of like that one.
Those are just some other examples. You know what? Like I don't think I have seen 31. I really don't.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
I've seen 31, and there was another similar one. I don't want to say it's similar. Haunt was another one, but it wasn't really. It was just like a clown mask. It wasn't.
Yeah, and to be fair, like there's probably a lot more movies, obviously, that we're not mentioning, but some of them they're like that. It's innocuous. It's kind of like there might be a clown doll, like in Poltergeist, or it might be something like that with somebody's just got a clown mask or something, and they're a killer, But those are the kind of things that obviously kind of back up that not myth, but the legend of killer clowns and stuff. Is even though it's just a serial killer movie or something like that, but they're wearing a clown mask, so you associate. Yeah, that's just some examples, and I thought it'd be kind of a cool subject to talk about. Since, like I said, next week we're going to be talking about Terrifier 2. So, was there any other clown mischief that you guys wanted to point out before we wrap it up?
But there's one thing for me that's like I can't look it up because I'm using my phone for this. But y'all can, because we're talking about these clown movies. There's one that popped in my head that it's been a long time, and I don't even remember if I saw it or if I just remember the cover, the VHS days. But I think it was called The Clown Murders, and it had like an early role from John Candy.
Huh. You know, that does sound familiar for some reason.
Yeah, it's 1976.
Oh, and it's called The Clown Murder?
Yeah, it's called The Clown Murders. Yeah.
Huh.
And that is the one with John Candy?
Yeah. I just looked it up. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, that's it.
Well, good. I wasn't
That'd
just
be interesting.
I wasn't just remembering something that didn't happen. But I remember that cover back in the VHS days. But I don't remember ever renting it. So just talking about clowns, it popped in my head. I wanted to get it out there.
What was that guy, Tiny Tim? That's his name, right? What was that movie he had? Smoke that was where he's wearing clown makeup.
Shit, yeah. Damn, I'm not going to be able to. Well, you'll probably have to Google that one too, because I definitely did see that one.
Blood Harvest.
Blood Harvest.
Yeah, that was an interesting one.
Jesus
pretty good.
Christ.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at some of the screenshots for this. Jesus Christ.
No, yeah, go watch it.
Fuck.
Yeah. That one is interesting to say the least. I want to say that had something to do with clowns, or either he's just wearing makeup briefly or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about the Clown Association, but that movie's
if anybody wants to kind of check out Blood Harvest, currently as of this recording, it's on Tubi.
There you go. That is definitely one we should get on the show. There's no question about that. Yeah, he is wearing the clown makeup. He's got that like almost kind of like the Joker. Think more of like the makeup. It looks more like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker from the most recent. It was kind of like that with the blue across, like the lines across his eyes, and then the big red smile with the dots. That's what it looks like. Yeah, that movie is whack.
It's I mean, hell, that was the first time I'd ever seen it. Is when like I said, me and Tiana watched it about, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago or so, something like that.
Yeah. Cuckoo. Well, that's a good exclamation point, Donnie. That's a good way to wrap this sucker up. Yep. Go check out those titles if you've never heard of them. You know, go out and check them out. And like I said, next week we're going to be talking about Terrifier 2, which is one of the granddaddies, I think, of killer clown movies. It's good lord. No. Good lord. It's got to be top 5, right? I mean, it's up there with Pennywise, and it's up there with, you know, if you're ranking the movies and stuff, like especially if you just love the gore, Terrifier 2 is right up there. So come back for that next week. And then, like we've talked about before, we encourage you to go check out aaspookshow.com. From there, you can get our past podcast archives, go to our YouTube channel, all that stuff. But we've got our 6th anniversary coming up. So we encourage you to go check that out. And, next week, Terrifier 2. And then after that, we'll be headlong into spooky season, so to speak. We'll be entering the month of October not long after that. So for Tiana and Will couldn't be with us, Donnie, Professor Smoke, I'm Josh. We are the All-American Spook Show, and we'll talk to you next week.
Please replace the speaker on its rack when you're ready to leave. Failure to do so will damage both the speaker and your car. We'll be grateful, and so will the patrons who follow you.